Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Ifeoluwa. In this video I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this simple wrap top. So if this is something you're interested in, watch this video to the end. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you're seeing this video, please do well to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and also feel free to leave your questions or your comments in the comment section. Now let's get started guys. So these are the measurements I'm going to need: the bust measurement, waist, the top length, across back measurement, the armhole circumference, the sleeve length, and then the sleeve width. So you should make sure your pattern paper is folded into two. So this is folded as it is like this, and this is the opened part of the pattern paper, then this part is the closed part, the other part is the closed part. So you make sure you fold it into two like that. Then you measure out the chest line, which is the armhole circumference divided by 2, and then you measure out your top length. So I'm going to do the same thing at the other side and then connect together. So this is the shoulder line, the chest line, and then the top length. Now I'm going to measure out the across back measurement divided by 2 on the shoulder line and on the chest line. Then I'm going to connect together. Now from the shoulder line I'm going to come down by 1 inch, and whatever I have left I'll divide by 2 and mark that point. Then from that point I'll come in by 0.75. Then on the chest line I'm going to take my bust measurement divided by 4 and mark that point, and I'm going to connect those 3 points together to make the armhole. Now I'm going to take my neckline measurements. I'll be using 3.5 for the neck width and then 1 inch for the neck depth. So this is going to be the neck measurements for the back. This is the back pattern. So that is what I'm going to be using for the back pattern, because I want the back neckline to be high. Then I'm going to connect my shoulder slants. Now I'll measure out my waistline measurements on the top length. So I have the waist divided by 4. Then I'm going to connect from the chest line down to the top length, that is the waistline. So I have this as my back pattern. Now I'm going to proceed to cut it out. Now before I cut it out on my fabric, I'm just going to use this same pattern paper to create the front pattern. So before you cut out anything, you can create the front pattern. So for the front pattern, from that center front, I'm going to be going outside. I'm going to be taking about 4 to 5 inches from the center of this paper. Then I'm going to take 1.5 inch upward like that. Then I'm going to connect that together. Now for the slants, I'm going to connect from one of the shoulders there and connect down to this 1.5 inches like that. So guys, this is it for the front pattern. Now before you cut it out, just make sure you cut out the back pattern first on the fabric. So this is the back pattern. I already placed it on the fabric. Make sure that it is on fold, so the back pattern doesn't have any opening or anything, so it is on fold. Then I'm going to add my allowance, my sewing allowance, that is 1 inch for the hem line, and then I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches for the side, then ½ inch round on the armhole, the shoulder line, and the neckline. Now that I'm done cutting out the back pattern on the fabric, I'm going to go ahead to cut out the front pattern. You also make sure the front pattern is on fold, but this is going to end up as pieces, so you don't need to have anywhere folded like that. So I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches as the side seam, and then 1 inch for the lower part, that is the hem line. Then I'll be adding ½ inch round like that, ½ inch on that neckline area, and then the armhole and the shoulder slants. So this is how it should look like when you are done cutting the front pattern, so you can see the wrap at the front. Now I'm going to proceed to cut out the sleeve. So I'm going to label that part as the sleeve cap. Then I'm going to measure out the sleeve length, that is the length of the sleeve I'll be using. Then I'm going to mark out that point. Now from the sleeve cap, I'm going to come down by about 4 inches, so that is to create the armhole. So I'm going to come down by 4 inches and also connect that point. Then I'm going to measure out my armhole on the top, that is on the front and the back pattern. So altogether I have about 9 inches as the armhole. So you make sure you measure out the armhole without the 1.5 inches that we used as the seam allowance. So this is 9 inches. Now from the sleeve cap to that 4 inches that we created, I'm going to measure out that 9 inches for the sleeve. Then I'm going to just connect freehand like this with a curve down to the 9 inches. So that is going to be the sleeve, the armhole of the sleeve. Now on the sleeve length, I'm going to measure out the sleeve width. So that is, I have about 15 inches, so I'm going to measure it out there and connect from that point to this point. So this is when you want to cut out on your fabric, it should be on full. So I already cut it out on the fabric like this and added all the necessary allowances. So I added 1.5 inch here for the side seam and ½ inch up, and then 1 inch for the lower parts. So this is for the strap we'll be using for the wrap top. The rope we'll be using for it. So I have about 30 inches here as the length, and then 4 inches as the width of the rope. So I'll be sewing ½ inch up there, so I'm going to have 1.5 inches left. Now it's time to join the top together. So I'm going to sew the shoulder slants by ½ inch, the shoulder slants of the front and the back together. So you make sure the right side should be facing the right side. Then for the rope, I'm also going to sew that ½ inch. Then I'm going to cover up one end of the rope and leave the other end open. So this is it after joining the shoulders together. Then I'm going to add the sleeves to the armhole. I'm going to join the sleeves to the armhole. So you can just pin them together from the midpoint of the sleeve. You should pin it together to the midpoint of the armhole on the top, and then sew around like that. Now after sewing the sleeves, you can then proceed to sew the side. So I'm going to be sewing the side with 1.5 inches. That is the side seam allowance. So after sewing the side, then I'm going to sew the hem line. So this is what I have after sewing the sides and the hem line of this top. Now I'm going to sew the neckline area. That is this part of the neckline. I'm going to be using my bias tape to sew it, so it's going to come out very neat. Now after doing that, you can see how it looks like and see how neat the neckline area is looking. Then I'm going to be adding my strap, that is my rope, to the top at that side. Then I'm going to sew it like that. So guys, this is what we have after sewing the strap to the rope to the top. So this is it for the wrap top. You can see how very simple and straightforward it is. So if you're going to be trying this, let me know in the comment section and let me get your feedback on how it went. So I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.